witches? I am High Priestess Autumn Venus. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy day to join me for this very important pop-up live broadcast that I will also be broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, otherwise known as X. So let's get right into it. We are now 2 weeks away from Samhain, 2 weeks away from Halloween. You know what? Something about me, with all of my broadcasts, I get straight into the topic. I don't have a long introduction. When I broadcast live or pre-record a video, I get right into the subject. I don't give you a long introduction. I just get into it. I tell you, hey, I'm High Priestess Autumn Venus, and welcome to this broadcast. Welcome to this very important pop-up live broadcast about what is the real hatred of Halloween by Christians. What is the real hatred of Halloween by Christians? There are several reasons. And keep in mind, witches, if you don't know this about me personally, I used to be a devout follower of Jesus Christ. I used to be a devout Christian. I used to be a Christian nationalist. All right? I was baptized. I grew up in the church. So I know Christian's handbook. I know the Christian handbook. I know all their little tricks and plays and how they try to get empathy and sympathy and pity and how they are basically grifters. These pastors, these prophets, these female prophets, prophetess of Jesus Christ, they are all grifters, money hungry, money motivated. They don't care if you go to hell or heaven. They just want your money. So as a former Christian that is now, as a former devout Christian, now a witch, I know Christian's playbook front to back and all the little nooks and crannies. I know it. Why? Because I lived it. That's why. So what is the real hatred that Christians have against Halloween? There are several things. Oh, let's get into it. Let's get some real talk. Let's get some uncensored talk. Let's get some unfiltered talk. Let's get real. Let's not be nice or polite or even respectful. No. So this broadcast might be offensive to some people, but you will be okay. If you're not okay, too damn bad. That's how real this broadcast, this live broadcast is going to be. So let me put up the title. What is the real hatred of Halloween by Christians? That's what this broadcast is all about. It's uncensored, it's unfiltered, it's real, and let's get right into it. One big thing that Christians hate about Halloween is they do not know the difference between Halloween and Samhain. Halloween and Samhain are both on the 31st of October, but Halloween and Samhain are not the same. Halloween and Samhain are not the same holiday. Halloween is more about dressing up in costumes, going to haunted houses, going trick-or-treating, bobbing for apples, watching scary movies. Samhain is the most important holiday for witches and Wiccans. Samhain is the one night of the year when the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest, so it's easier to communicate with loved ones and pets that have passed away before us. Now, before you ask me, what do you mean by your pets? I talked last night about communicating with your pets that have passed away. So if you have not yet seen that broadcast, it's still available to watch on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So go back and watch that broadcast. Go back and rewatch that broadcast about your pets that have passed away before you and how you can honor them on Samhain. That is exactly 2 weeks away. So most Christians do not know the difference between Halloween and Samhain. Christians get their definition of Halloween and Samhain from their Bible. Their Bible is just a bunch of nonsense. Christians' Bible really is just a figment of their imagination. It's entertaining. The Bible has lots of entertaining stories, but they are a work of fiction. They did not happen. The Great Flood did not happen. Noah's Ark did not happen. Adam and Eve did not exist. There was no talking snake. It's imaginary. It's not real. So Christians get their idea about Halloween and Samhain from their Bible, which is a bunch of nonsense. It is an ancient book of nonsense that is not relevant and is not important for our modern day times. The Bible says a lot about, the Bible doesn't mention Halloween or Samhain by name, but they say things that make you think they are talking about Halloween and Samhain. You know, the Bible is basically throwing shade about Halloween and Samhain. Just say the name. Say the name. Don't be passive aggressive. Say Halloween. Say Samhain. The Bible says a lot about not communicating with the dead, not turning to mediums, and most important out of the Bible is that do not suffer a witch to live. What does that mean? That means if somebody is a witch, you have to kill them. No, don't try that in 2023, because you might come across a witch like myself who will show you what time it is, let you know what's really hood. All right. You know, not all witches are loving light. Not all witches are loving light at all. I don't know where that idea even came from, but it's not true. It is not true. Not all witches are loving light. They're not. So the Bible, the Christian's Bible, throws a lot of shade at witches. A lot of shade. Another real reason why Christians have so much hatred towards Halloween is because some witches, like myself, do talk about honoring your loved ones, honoring your ancestors on Halloween. Why? Because Christians are scared of death. We know that Christians are scared of death because they have said themselves that, you know, Jesus is going to come back and kill all of us, you know, pagans, all of us heathens, and then the Christians are going to return to earth and rule and reign with Christ. Why? Because Christians cannot imagine a world without them. That's the ultimate arrogance of a Christian. Christians can't imagine the earth not having Christians. How can the world be alive without us? The world cannot exist without us Christians. Christians are afraid of death. So when witches like myself talk to you, witches, about honoring your ancestors and communicating with your ancestors, Christians get the biggest wedgie trying to pull it out between the cheeks of their booty and say, no. It's wrong. You're sinning. You're going to go to hell for communicating with the dead. Christians are afraid to die. Christians are afraid to die. Christians are afraid to die. They want to live forever because they are so selfish. They cannot imagine a world with no Christians. We know that Christians are very strict. We know that Christians are the problem. That's the truth. That's not being anti-Christ. It's the truth. We know that Christians are the problem. We know that we would be thousands of years in the future had it not been for Christians burning our best minds at the stake. The problem is Christians. The problem is Christians, straight up and down, period. Period. You can take this, what I just said, as being anti-Christian. That's your opinion. You're wrong. Because what I just said is the truth. Christians are the problem. They have always been the problem. They have always tried to take control of everything. Christians claim that they are not part of this world, but yet they try to get their hands on everything in the world. Because they are colonizers. Christians are afraid of death. Christians are afraid of death. That's the truth. That's the truth. Christians don't want us communicating with our ancestors. Why? Because our ancestors is going to tell us the truth. As witches and according with science, we know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed. So therefore, there must be life after death. We know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed. That's how we know there is something after this life has passed away. We know this. But Christians don't want us communicating with our ancestors because our ancestors are already in the future. And if we ask our ancestors a question, yeah, we're going to get an answer. We are going to get the truth. We're not going to get the truth from Muhammad or Jesus or Buddha. It's going to come from my ancestors because those are the people that we went to get answers. You know, Christians don't have any ancestors. Their ancestors are just probably the pilgrims. Their ancestor is Jesus Christ. A bunch of losers. That's the truth. It's harsh, but it's true. It's harsh, but it's the truth. Another big problem, another real reason why Christians have so much hatred for Halloween, for Samhain, is because of the children. You know, Christians in October say, oh, the children. Somebody think about the children. The children are under demonic satanic influence when they dress up in costumes. Please, somebody think of the children. They can't even see their own kids unless it's visiting day. They can't even see their own kids unless it is a supervised visit. They don't even have custody of their own kids. But Christians say, oh, the children. Somebody please help the children. Oh, these poor children. But they don't say anything about the pastor that just finished having sex with a little boy. They don't care about that. They don't care about that little boy that just finished having sex with their pastor. But they are so concerned about the children. The Christians, because most of them, I would say even all of them, they have a huge presence on social media in the month of October. So they make posts, they make memes, they make videos, they make reels about how they claim Halloween, Samhain is so demonic and evil and dark and scary and spooky and frightening. The whole time they are making those posts, the whole time they are creating those reels, the whole time they are broadcasting live, they have their child sitting in a bathtub full of dirty water. They don't care about anybody's children. Christians talk a lot about, oh, revival is here. The youth is returning to Christ. That's not true. More people are raising their child as a witch because they want their child to have real significant and permanently positive change through witchcraft. And they can't, and they will never get that real significant and permanently positive change through witchcraft through Jesus. He does not offer that. He doesn't even offer miracles. He does not offer signs. He does not offer wonders. He doesn't at all. And this is coming from a former Christian, a former devout Christian. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you these Christians' playbook. It's all true what I'm saying. It's all true. I said this last night. Let mankind be a liar and let Hecate be the truth. So that's the biggest thing about Halloween. Protecting the children. I have to protect the children. If you don't want to celebrate Halloween, don't give out candy. Stay your ass home. If you don't want to do witchcraft on Samhain, the same day as Halloween, then guess what? Don't do witchcraft. Just stay home. Go to bed early. But don't encourage other people not to do it just because you have a personal problem with it. It's a personal problem. Halloween Samhain, for those who don't celebrate it, that's a personal problem. Solve the problem and shut the hell up about it. Solve the problem. First of all, you need to admit that you have a problem. You need to admit that you have a problem. If you don't admit that there is something wrong, then you will always have that problem. Another really big thing that Christians have a hatred for Halloween is what they say, what Christians say is, oh, all of these witches, all of these Satanists, all of these devil worshippers committing crime, sacrificing children, organ harvesting, eating babies, sacrificing people, setting things on fire, destroying private property, just causing hell on earth for just one day out of the year. All these witches casting spells on their enemies. Well, maybe you should not have become an enemy of a witch. Maybe if you left that witch alone, you would not have become an enemy of that witch. But you chose to bother that witch. You chose to not back off, back down, back away, sit down somewhere. So now you have become an enemy of a witch. So that witch waited until Samhain to do a big ritual to finally make you relent and put you on your knees at their feet. So you can't blame the witch. The witch will do everything natural. The witch will do everything mundane to not curse you. But if the mundane does not work, that witch is going to curse you. A witch does not ever curse anyone with no good reason. If a witch curses you, you deserved it. You deserved it. Because a witch is not going to be somebody's punching bag. it's not in their best interest to be somebody's punching bag. It's not going down like that. It's not. Play that game with somebody else. Play that game with someone who is stupid. Because a witch is nowhere near stupid. Witches are powerhouses. Witches are powerhouses. You're not a powerhouse. You're not. You might think you are because you are covered in the blood of Christ. But you're not. You're simply not. At all. Nor will you ever be. Nor do you even know how to become a powerhouse. You don't have it. You don't have that it factor. You don't. At all. At all. And you never will. So Christians say on Halloween, on October 31st, all of these witches are casting spells, putting spells, casting spells on the candy when they give them out to the children. Witches are not casting spells on candy. Witches are not putting razor blades in apples or, filling it with crack, filling it with, weed. They're not doing that. They wouldn't do that. Why? And what makes you think your child is so special for a witch to eat it? Your child is not special. Your child is not special. Witches don't want your children. Like I said a couple of moments ago, you don't even want your children. A lot of these Christians send their kids to school sick. They send their kids to school dirty, raggedy, unkept, hair nappy, dirty panties on, dirty drawers on, dirty clothes on. You think a witch wants to gobble that up? No, they don't. They don't. A lot of you Christians don't even have custody of your kids. Some of you Christians will never get custody of their kids. And you're worried about a witch eating a child on Halloween? A lot of people who have kids that are missing, that kid is not really missing. That kid just ran away. There is no human trafficking ring of the elites, of the globalists, of the world economic system kidnapping children. Most likely they ran away. They weren't part of a kidnapping and they were not eaten by witches. Witches don't eat children. Any witch, let me say this about Halloween in that comment about witches eating children on Halloween. Any witch that commits ritual murder for, in the name of witchcraft is not a witch. They are a psychopath. No witch does that. No true witch does that. None. Hi, Danielle. Okay, this is live. So if you see me saying hi to some people, I have my friend here, a fellow witch that I know personally, Danielle. She just came onto my broadcast, so I'm saying hi to her. So if you see me saying hi to people, this is live, okay? So witches are not gobbling up children. They don't want your kids. You don't even want your kids. You don't even take care of your kids. Your child hates you. Your child wishes you were dead. That's a mean thing to say, but a lot of children hate their parents. And for good reason. If your child hates you, it's not because they are under the influence of witchcraft. They just hate you and want you to die. Alright? So that's a big problem that Christians have. But it sounds like a personal problem to me. It sounds like a personal problem to me. Oh, the children, we are concerned about what children are exposed to on Halloween. But as the parent, you're not concerned about what your child is exposed to on November 1st. Or all the days before Halloween. You're not concerned about your child then. But all of a sudden, on Halloween, on Samhain, you want to be so concerned about your child. But you can't even you don't even have hot water for your child to bathe in. You don't even have soap. You are using dishwasher soap. The dishwasher soap that's $1.29 at the corner store. You can't even afford soap for your kid. And you're worried about the dangers of Halloween and your child being exposed to Halloween when you can't even take care of your own child. Why would a witch want to eat a dirty ass kid? Your child stinks. All right? That's the truth. I see a lot of Christians be so concerned about children on Halloween or the days leading up to Halloween, and I look at their child, and their child looks dirty, looks raggedy, looks poor, nappy hair, unkept. They stink. They stink. They're underweight. They're malnourished. They can't even read. They can't speak properly. They mumble when they talk. So maybe you are the problem and not witches. Yeah, I just went that far. I have to talk like this to get through. I have to. I can't be as a high priestess, as I am, I can't be any other way but honest, but truthful, but forward, but blunt. It's not the child's fault that they are raggedy and dirty and they stink. It's the parent's fault. You're just a shitty parent. And when Halloween comes around or when October comes around, you want to blame witchcraft being all over the planet for your child misbehaving or your child being dirty. You're the reason why your child is dirty. You are. You are. Not the child. You. Not the child. It's you. So, in October, all over social media, you see videos. You see posts. You see posts throwing shade at me. Okay? At least I'm pretty, alright? We all know. About witches. Lies about witches. The stereotype of a witch. And then Christians refer to the Bible about witches. The Bible has got it completely wrong about witches. The Bible does not know anything about witches. Jesus never encountered a witch, or at least a real witch like me or like you. He did not. Jesus would not know what to do with a witch. He would not know what to do with a witch. Now, most Christians would say Jesus would cast out that demon that is inside of the witch. Witches are not demon possessed. Witches are powerhouses. Witches are born with that power. It can't be cast out. It cannot be cast out. And nobody is going to put their hands on me at all, because I don't play that shit. All right. I get a little ghetto, a little hood, Okay. So you can't compare the two. You can't compare a witch and Jesus. I know some people say that Jesus was a witch. You're retarded. That's why you're saying that. You're saying that Jesus was a witch because you are retarded. That's why you're saying that. He was not a witch. He was a magician. He was good at creating illusions, but he was not a witch. A witch is a witch is a witch and also a witch. Okay? Can I say it like that? Can I talk to you witches like this? Can I give you this real talk? Can I give you this uncensored talk? This unfiltered talk? This making no apologies talk? Can I talk to you witches like this bluntly? Can I be this forward with you witches? And you just soak it in, accept it as truth because it is truth. And mankind is a liar and Hecate is the truth? Yes, I believe I can. And I always will. I always will. I always will. It's a crock of shit to say that all these witches on October 31st are casting spells on politicians, casting spells on our children. Oh, what about the children? Oh, think of the children, you know? Oh, these witches are causing all of these problems. You better hope there is enough witches with everything going on in the world. You better hope there is enough witches with everything going on in the world. You better hope there is enough witches with everything going on in the world right now. You better hope there are enough witches. You better hope there are enough witches who know that they are powerhouses. You better hope. You better hope. Don't you ever doubt what a group of committed witches can accomplish, because it has always been a small group of committed witches that have ever brought real significant and permanently positive change through witchcraft. If you have not yet shared this live broadcast, please share this live broadcast in your stories or in your other social media platforms. Share this broadcast now if you have not yet done so. Yeah, share this broadcast right now if you have not yet done so. That's my request. That's all I ask. Right now, if you have not yet shared this live broadcast, do it now. Do it now. That's my only request, is that you share my broadcast to reach more witches that need real talk. Real talk. Because this is probably the realest broadcast I have ever streamed. And there's more to come. Oh yes, I'm not stopping. Witches, you and I, witches are not stopping. Witches are not going anywhere just because you have a personal problem with Halloween, with Samhain. That's your problem. I don't give a shit. I don't. I really don't. I can't. I simply can't. Witches are not obligated to care about other people's feelings when they are in the right. They're not. And witches, true, blue, authentic, genuine, real witches are not going to make any apologies. They can't. They can't take back anything that Hecate, the queen of witches, told them to say. They can't. They can't. You might not like it. You might not like my delivery of the truth, because my delivery is tough. Okay? My delivery is rough. But you have to remember, I am a Scorpio. I am a Scorpio. So Scorpios come off strong. Scorpios come off passionate. Scorpios come off intense. So that's what you get every time I broadcast. Every time. Intensity, passionate, and very brutally honest. Like here's the proof. Here's the truth. Your problem with Halloween, with Samhain, is personal. You do not set the stage for how everybody else celebrates Halloween, celebrates Samhain. It's none of your business. It's not at all. You need to find some business of your own to mind. Or go to bed. Go take a nap. Go suck a dick. Do that. But do not discourage people with lies about Halloween, with lies about Samhain. That's why a lot of witches get really, 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 really angry around October when they see these posts and these videos about lies, just all lies about Samhain, about Halloween, about witches, about devil worshippers, about Satanists, about Luciferians. Let me tell you something. Witches, Luciferians, Satanists, devil worshippers, they are more Christian than Christians. It's the Christians who behave like the stereotype of a Luciferian, of a Satanist, of a devil worshipper, of a witch. They behave like the stereotype of those people. They do. They're the ones who blow up buildings. They are the ones who fly planes into buildings. I can't say too much about that, but it's the truth. It is the truth. It's the truth. The same Luciferian, the same witch, the same Satanist that you claim eats babies on Halloween, Samhain, are the same doctors in the morning. The same teachers that teach your children. You would never know somebody is a witch just by looking at them. You would never know somebody is a Luciferian or a Satanist or a devil worshiper. By the way, I know people who are Luciferians. I know people who are Satanists. I know people who are devil worshipers. And guess what? Those people are sweethearts. They are sweethearts. They're not doing what the Church of Christ says or the bride of Christ says. They're not. And they're definitely not doing these crimes, these horrific crimes on Halloween. The people doing the crimes and doing the murders and robberies and rapes on Halloween are just bad people. They are not witches or Satanists or Luciferians or devil worshippers. They are just straight up bad people. That's it. That is it. They are just bad people. You don't believe that people can be born evil? Of course people can be born evil. Absolutely. Look at Hitler. He was born evil. Oh, but he had a bad childhood. Yes, Hitler did have a bad childhood. But when he became a man, he should have known the difference between right and wrong. And he chose to go the other way. In his childhood, Hitler showed signs of being a horrible little boy, of being a dictator, when he would, that would lead him to eventually become the Führer, Chancellor of Germany. He was born evil. I don't want to talk too much about Hitler because this is about Halloween and Samhain. But it's the truth nonetheless. People can be born evil. It's not always the environment that they grew up in. Get out of that. Yes, people can be born evil. Yes, they can. Oh, but it's just a baby. It's just a child. Shut the fuck up. You can be born evil. But the evil that takes place on Halloween, it's not because of witches or devil worshippers or Satanists or Luciferians. You know something? A lot of those people are really Christians who dress up as witches, who dress up to look like, let's say, a black person did it. So that black people can get blamed for it. Oh yes, we're going to get there tonight. We're talking about that right now. These are Christians pretending to be in costume to commit crimes so they can go back to their church or their little tiny ministries or go back and tell their pastor or prophet, oh, look at what this witch did. But it was really them that was doing a crime to increase people's fear of witches. Of course, there are Christians who dress up on Halloween to look like witches. Of course, there are Christians who dress up to look like a black person, you know, what they call a thug, wearing a black hoodie, pants hanging down their ass, wearing baggy jeans to look like a black man is committing a crime. And then they run away in a car that's waiting for them. But the eyewitnesses swear up and down that it was a black person because it was a white Christian person dressed like a black person with makeup to look like a black person that committed the crime. Oh, that's a word. That's a word right there. And it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Raise a glass. Raise a glass. Raise a glass. Raise a glass, because I just told you the uncensored truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Believe it or not, it's the truth. Why? How do I know this? I just told you, I used to be a Christian. My church did that. The white people in my church would dress up like a black man, wearing baggy jeans, wearing a black hoodie, have a makeup artist make them look like a black man, and then go out on Halloween and commit crimes, and then run away to a car waiting to drive off with them so that the eyewitnesses can say, yes, it was a black man, when it was really a white man dressed like a black man. Just to bring back the stereotype of how blacks are nothing but a bunch of thugs, or they may dress up like witches, or they must dress up like in a devil's suit or in a Satanist suit. Oh yes, I know this because my own church did it. I'm like, why are you blaming blacks? Oh, they do that. They do that. They do that. They do. They do. Christians have to talk bad about witches and Halloween and Samhain to keep their congregation together. If just one person in a congregation says, hey, maybe that's not true about witches. Maybe we should talk to witches and learn about them. The pastor or the prophet of Jesus Christ will say, oh, you're under demonic influence. We don't want you here as a member of this church anymore. So they would kick that member out of their church, out of their ministry, out of their congregation. Christians need the stereotype of witches to exist, to keep people in fear of witches. Christians only teach about the stereotype, the lies about witches, so that their members can go out on Halloween and beat up witches. Well, nobody is going to beat me up, because if I beat you up, you are not going to be able to walk anymore. I'm going to take your legs. I'm going to take your legs, okay? Nobody's going to beat me up, all right? You're going to regret it, all right? I'm not just protected by Hecate. My hands work, all right? I can fight. I can scratch. I can bite. I can kick. You're going to regret it, all right? And remember, I'm a Scorpio. So, I can fight, all right? I can throw a punch. I can, what I believe is most important, I can take a punch. It's not enough to just be able to throw a punch. Can you take a punch to the face? I mean directly to the face. Can you do that? So nobody is going to be hitting me because I will take your legs. How are you going to take my legs? I will take your legs. All right? So please understand, like I just said a couple of moments ago, not all witches are love and light. Witches are not going to be anybody's punching bag. Witches are not going to be anybody's punching bag. At all. At all. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not. So these are just what I've noticed in the church. Real reasons why Christians have this hatred for Halloween and Samhain. Christians don't know the difference between Halloween and Samhain. Christians do not want you communicating with your ancestors. Christians are afraid of death because Christians cannot imagine a world with no Christians. You know, if you tell me the world is ending, listen, if you tell a Christian that the world is ending, they will say just as, I can't imagine a world with no Christians, even though Christians are the problem. Christians are the problem. They are. I would never encourage someone to go beat up somebody because of their religion, but I will always encourage someone to protect themselves. Don't let nobody hit you. You know, don't let nobody hit you and then say they are trying to get a demon out of you. Well, I guess we both have a demon, because I'm going to hit you back. I will hit you back. I'm not going to let somebody hit me and walk away. There will be no walking for you. There will be no walking for you. That's over with. Christians do not know the difference between Halloween and Samhain. Christians do not want you talking to your ancestors because your ancestors will tell you the truth. And I said this before, the ancestors of Christians are the damn pilgrims and Jesus Christ. Christians don't want you doing witchcraft on October 31st because October 31st is the end of summer and it's the one night of the year when the goddess Hecate, the queen of witches, is at her ultimate strength. So it's easier to work with her. It's easier to communicate with her. It's easier to get information, to get real help from her. And the biggest thing I believe is that Christians are worried about the children on Halloween. Oh, the children. Oh, the poor children. Somebody think about the children. Oh, the children. You know, like that. Just like that. Just that dramatic. Yeah, I wasn't overacting. Christians are that dramatic about protecting the children on Halloween. Oh, the children are going to have spells put on the candy that they receive from witches. I said this before. Witches don't want your children. They are raggedy, dirty, and they stink. That's the truth. You know, in October, Christians spend all their time making posts, making videos, making reels, going live to talk shit about witches, while their child has been sitting in a bathtub full of dirty water for 20 minutes. Your dirty ass kid is sitting in a bathtub full of dirty water, waiting to come out if they have not yet drowned. Talking shit about witches online. Throwing shade at me online, thinking I don't know it's me. You know, being passive aggressive and being stupid enough to think that I don't know. I know. Maybe you don't, but I do. I know. And if you are a witch, you know. And because witches believe the stereotype of witches according to their Bible, which their Bible is a bunch of nonsense. You know, Christians say that on Halloween, this is when the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Rockefellers, the global elites, the Rothschilds gather at Bohemian Grove to commit crime, to come up with more ideas to control the world. Let me tell you something. There is no Illuminati. There is no Freemasonry. There is no global elites. There is no Rothschilds. There are no Rockefellers. It's not real. It does not exist. It is imaginary. It is a myth. It's a lie. It doesn't happen. There is no Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is this crazy place somewhere in the forest where the elites, like former presidents, politicians, celebrities, go to worship a bird, and they commit acts of basically terrorism. You know, sacrificing children that they have kidnapped. Listen, there is no Illuminati. There are no Freemasons. There is no New World Order. It's not real. I'm not yelling. I'm not screaming at you. I'm very passionate when I talk. It's not real. It does not exist. All of that is so entertaining. Illuminati, Freemasons, Rockefeller, Rothschilds, New World Order. That is all entertaining. It's all entertainment. It's not real. It does not exist. It's imaginary. Don't you understand that? I'm not talking to witches right now. I'm talking to Christians who believe that witches are behind this. Witches can't be behind something that's not real. They cannot. It's all lies. There is no global elites meeting on October 31st to worship an owl at Bohemian Grove. There is no, Epstein's Island. It's not real. There is no Epstein's Island. It doesn't exist. It's imaginary. It's not real. It's a myth. It's a lie. Oh, but you know, Epstein didn't kill himself. He did kill himself. He committed suicide. He is dead by his own hand. These are all stereotypes that witches come up with what happens on Halloween. That these globalists, these elites, these world economic people, commit all these crimes on Halloween, and none of it is true. It's not real. There is no Illuminati. There is no Freemasons. There is no New World Order. People are just crazy and they call themselves crazy names. It's not real. It's not. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. I understand that you want it to be true because it fits your narrative, but it's still a lie. Even though you want it to be true, it's still a lie. You see, if a member of a church, like I did, stands up and say, maybe this is not right, maybe this is not true about witches, maybe they are not doing these things, like I said, that member would be kicked out of the church. That member would be kicked out of the church. Because one bad apple spoils the bunch. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's a personal problem. Your problem with Halloween, with Samhain, is a personal problem. Solve the problem and shut up already. Solve it. It's a personal problem. It's not mine. It's yours. Solve it. Solve it. Think a little bit farther. Take your head out of your booty hole. Take your head out of your booty hole and solve the problem. What's the problem? What's the issue? If you're solving the problem, just do it already. Just do it. It's not that hard. It's a personal problem. Figure it out. Since you know everything, figure it out. Solve it. Or just shut up. It's like not that difficult. Talk to a therapist. Shit. Talk to your pastor. Shit. Talk to your minister. Shit. Talk to Jesus, you freak. Solve it. I don't want to hear this shit anymore. And witches have every right to get angry about it. Because we deal with this constantly. Every single day. Every single day, witches deal with this. Every single day. We don't get a break. Witches do not get a break. It would be nice, but it doesn't happen for us. It does not happen for us. So these are the real reasons why there is so much hatred of Halloween by Christians, as it's stated in the title. What is the real hatred of Halloween by Christians? Everything I said is true. It might have been a little bit harsh or a little bit rough in my delivery, but it's true nonetheless. It's true nonetheless. In your heart, you know I'm right. In your heart, switches, you know I'm right. I'm just one of the first to say it uncensored like this. Uncensored like this. Unfiltered. No apologies. Just some real talk between witches. Just some real talk between witches. Because as witches, we must always tell the truth. As witches, we must always tell the truth. No matter how shocking. Because what I've just said is a little shocking. A little surprising if you were not already clued in. but true nonetheless. Sleep on. I challenge you to sleep on what I just said. I challenge you to rewatch what I've just said and pick out your favorite parts. Write down what I just said. Download this live broadcast and watch it. Watch it again. Watch it one more time to understand why what I said, according to Hecate, is all true. All true. Even though you might not like my delivery of it, you will be okay. You will be okay. So thank you, witches, for joining me for this very important, very explosive pop-up live broadcast. If you have not yet done so, be sure to share this broadcast in your stories, on your other social media platforms, and tell another witch or witches that there is a high priestess here in New York who is anointed and appointed by the Queen of Witches, Hecate, to give them the tools to have real, significant, and permanently positive change through witchcraft. Tell those same witches that this high priestess is uncensored, unfiltered. Her delivery is that of intensity, is passionate, is funny, is forward, and is very, very blunt. No censoring, none. And I do curse a lot, all right? But honest people curse a lot, all right? So you get used to that. So with that being said, thank you again for taking time out of your morning, your afternoon, your evening. Like I said, also be sure to rewatch this broadcast as many times as you need to take in this message of all truth. Because let mankind be a liar and let Hecate be the truth. Let mankind be a liar and let Hecate be the truth. So thank you, witches, once again, and I now release you into your afternoon. Bye, everyone.